My name is Matreniuc and I am an English teacher. Dear students, today we are going to talk and discuss stereotypes, discrimination, and inequity in the 21st century. Look at the quotation. Prejudice is so prevalent in contemporary life that we often assume it is part of human nature. Think about this phrase. Do you agree or disagree with this? Look at the pictures below. What do you see? Who do you see? So today in class, we will discuss the new terms. We will find and give new definitions for the words. We will learn about prejudices and stereotypes. We will identify important issues and we will talk about different genders. Look at the picture below. What do you see? Different people, different clothes, representing different professions, and even maybe different races. Now let's discuss the words stereotype and prejudice. Stereotypes are oversimplified generalizations about groups of people. Stereotypes can be based on race, ethnicity, age, gender, sexual orientation, almost any characteristic. They may be positive. It is usually about one's own group, such as when women suggest they are less likely to complain about physical pain, but are often negative, usually toward other groups, such as when members of a dominant racial group suggest that a subordinate racial group is stupid or lazy. In either case, the stereotype is a generalization that doesn't take individual differences into account. Very often in our ordinary everyday life, we use this word. Maybe some of us even behave this way. But this is definitely not a positive attitude. Prejudice is injury or damage resulting from some judgment or action of another in disregard of one's rights, especially detriment to one's legal rights or claims. Prejudice is preconceived judgment or opinion. It is an adverse opinion or leaning formed without just grounds or before sufficient knowledge. Prejudice is an irrational attitude of hostility directed against an individual, a group, a race, or their supposed characteristics. Very, very often in our life, we have prejudices against different people or events. Now let's look at the word gender and provide definition. From Wikipedia, we have gender is the range of characteristics pertaining to and differentiating between masculinity and femininity. Depending on the context, these characteristics may include biological sex, sex-based social structures, for example, gender roles or gender identity. From the simple definition, we see that gender refers to the socially constructed characteristics of women and men, such as norms, roles, and relationships of and between groups of women and men. It varies from society to society and can be changed. Gender roles in some societies are more rigid than those in others. And finally, from Merriam-Webster's dictionary, we see that gender is the behavioral, cultural, or emotional traits typically associated with one sex. It is any of two or more classes of words as nouns or pronouns, or forms of words as adjectives that are partly based on sex and that determine agreement with other words or grammatical forms. Now you see what gender is, right? Okay, now let's look at the attitudes that can surely lead towards such understanding as gender equality. First of all, look at the pictures below the explanations. What do you see? These pictures might seem funny and amusing, but at the same time, they represent the reality. Gender equality, respect, and support between men and women can build and construct healthy and fruitful relations and contribute to development of culture. Think about it. Isn't it true? It is important for every nation to live in peace and harmony, and it comes from mutual understanding, collaboration, and gender acceptance. It surely leads to the development of the nation as a whole, because only united and collaborating we can come to a best society relations. Now, to get into the atmosphere of our discussions, let's read the text Rwanda, World's First Women-Led Country, that will also show us the role of women and men in our modern society. Rwanda will soon become the first country in the world where female politicians outnumber male politicians. The small Central African country has made huge progress since its tragic genocide in the 1990s. It can now proudly call itself a beacon of sexual equality. The ruling party coalition won 78% of seats in the election. Women took at least 44 out of a total of the 80 seats. Women may still win another 3 undecided seats. The head of the country's election commission stated, "It's clear women representatives will be more than 50%. Since the genocide, the government has encouraged women into politics. Many in Rwanda say the election results show that people are fed up with male-dominated politics. They say women will bring freshness and change to the nation." So, before we proceed with reading, let's meditate upon some questions. And look at these pictures. Again, what do you see? A sort of discrimination, a sort of inequality. Look at these figures. Do you recognize any of them? Surely you do. Think about these questions. What springs to mind when you hear the word equality? Equal rights, equal positions, jobs. Does gender equality or inequality affect your life? Have you had such experience? Maybe you know some examples from history. What do you think of female politicians outnumbering male politicians in Rwanda? Think a little bit about the text. Are there many female politicians in your country? Can you think about it? Are female politicians better or worse than male politicians? Why does gender inequality exist? Do you have any ideas? What differences do women bring to political leadership? So, the next portion of the text. Women's groups were quick to praise the government of President Paul Kagame for promoting such a strong gender equality program. A female voter told the BBC's Focus on Africa show that the new political landscape would help strengthen her country. She explained, "Men, especially in our culture, used to think that women are there to be in the house, cook food, look after the children. But the real problems of a family are known by a woman, and when they do it, they help a country to get much better." A local newspaper editor told the Voice of America website of his new pride in his country, "We have really been the first. where the women have broken the glass ceiling, now it's like we are enlightened. We're no longer in this backward sort of thinking, he said. So now we see that women's rights are human rights, and the gender equality means no discrimination. Okay, now let's answer some more questions based on the information from the text. What should be changed in your country to bring gender equality? Think about this question. This is a serious one. What areas of society are men too dominant in your country? Would the world be different if women outnumbered men in key positions? Are women there to be in the house and look after the kids only? Are women stronger leaders? Look at the picture. We are equal, men and women, different genders. Now, after all these long discussions, different phrases, definitions of notions, and text, let's look at what we have done today. We have learned different notions. We have discovered definitions for various words. We have discussed important issues. We have enriched our knowledge on this topic. We have found out views of people upon important human issues. Men equal women. All people are equal. So far for today, dear students. Enjoy your knowledge and reflect on different issues that can create your own world. See you next time.